From the Midwest Culinary Institute, located on the campus of Cincinnati State Technical and Community College, it's time for The Dish, brought to you by Biggs. Biggs, true minimum price.
Good morning and welcome to The Dish and the Midwest Culinary Institute on the campus of Cincinnati State Technical and Community College. I'm your host, Meg Galvin, and today's show is all about busy families and eating healthy. We're going to make a roasted chicken and a lentil salad that you can cook the night before and eat the next day cold, or rework the recipe and change it into some different good leftovers. So we're all busy. I'm busy. I have 3 children. It's 9:30. I've already done a couple loads of laundry. I'm at work. This afternoon we have soccer practice, basketball practice. So we're all busy. But the most important thing is that we try to eat healthy for ourselves and for our children. We're very fortunate to have Children's Hospital here in Cincinnati, and Dr. Chris Bowling is doing some amazing research with obesity. And on our website today at WKRC.com, we're going to offer some tips, Dr. Bowling's tips for healthy eating with children. One of the most important ones is eat together as a family around the kitchen table. I recently just purchased a new home, and we have this beautiful island in the kitchen and a great TV right on the other side of the island. And my children just want to eat their meals and watch the TV, and that's one of the most important things that he says, is that we should eat as a family, eat around the table, and no TV. So let's get started. What I'm doing right now is I'm just pinching some leaves from some herbs. This is tarragon and rosemary, and this is what we're going to flavor the chicken with. We have a nice golden plump chicken from Biggs that we have purchased. The herbs we're just going to roughly chop. Just keep in mind that the poultry, with your sanitation guidelines, try and do all your preparation before you touch the poultry, and then when you do touch the poultry, you want to make sure you wash your hands and your cutting surfaces. So I have my herbs just coarsely chopped in the bowl. I'm going to put some salt, a little bit of pepper, and then melted butter that's just been cooled, so just a little bit, and then a little bit of olive oil. And the reason for the 2 different oils is the butter's going to help in the browning process, and then the oil's going to help with the tenderization and with the long cooking process in the oven so that the chicken doesn't burn. So you can see it's just a nice little mixture of herbs. So we're going to go ahead and cut up a lemon, and the lemons are going to be stuffed inside the bird, or the chicken. And what they're going to do is, once that steam starts happening inside the oven, they're going to release some aromatics and some flavor and moisture so that the chicken doesn't dry out. So what you're going to do is make sure you wash the chicken. Have your vessels ready or your pans ready that you're going to cook the chicken in. It's really important when you roast the chicken. Roasting is a dry heat cooking process, and you want to keep that dry heat cooking process. The chicken does have some fat on it, and when that fat drops to the bottom of the pan, the bottom of the chicken will actually fry instead of roast. So don't feel like that you have to go out and buy a fantastic roasting pan, which this is. It's a copper heavy pan. But there's different items out on the market. This is just basically a cooling rack. You can put it inside a roasting pan and set the chicken on it. Or what I like to do is cut up what's called a mirepoix, which is just celery, carrots, and onions. So we're going to just loosely cut that up. Toss that in the pan. And then our chicken's going to sit on top of that. All right, so I have everything ready to go, and now I'm going to start getting the chicken ready. On the wing side of the chicken, there's something called the wishbone. If you want, you can take that out. It's just going to facilitate when you carve the chicken. And it's just take a knife. You can actually feel it, and if you want, you can even just break it with your fingers. You don't have to remove the whole wishbone. So that's going to come out. Then we're going to create a little pocket on top of the breast, and our nice little herb mixture is going to go inside. So this is all that flavoring that's going to come through and make this just a fantastic chicken. Now the next thing that's very important is called trussing the chicken. The oven's pretty hot. It's about 425 degrees. Our goal is to keep the legs and the wings together. If you can imagine this chicken going in, do you think it's going to sit there all nice and tucked inside in the oven? It's not. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to kind of bind it together and tuck it in. So it's going to cook and all stay together. Just some cotton twine, maybe if you go to a pastry shop, usually they tie the boxes with some cotton twine, or you can purchase it at any market. So we're just going to cross the legs over, give it a tie, and then if you want, you can turn the chicken over and come back along the wings. Something else that you can do too is cut that little tendon right at the wing joint, which is right here, and that will help as well. All right, so this is a healthy meal for your family. You can make it on Sunday for your Monday meal. We're just going to set that right on top. It's going to go in a 425-degree oven for about 1 hour. The most important thing with poultry is that you take a temperature on the poultry. You're looking for 170, 175 degrees, but more importantly, you're looking for clear juices and loose joints. So 3 factors, not just the 1, but you need to do the 3. When we come back, we're going to start a great salad that you can use an accompaniment to the chicken or make a different variation with it. So we hope you stay with us, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, what's going on? It's Storm Bennett, and welcome to my kitchen. Now, I tried this whole trussing thing that Meg's trying to teach us. Let's be honest, I can't even spell trussing. So what I did the next best thing, and I went to Biggs and picked up a golden plump roasted chicken. And what I'm about to do now is I'm going to take some of Meg's knife skills, and I'm going to cut some chicken, actually. And what is really good about this is that I'm a bachelor, so I kind of want to maximize my meals, right? So what you do is you have a chicken, half a chicken, and then the rest of the chicken you can actually make sandwiches or soups or whatever you need to do the next day, and especially when you wash the dish. Isn't that cool? And then I'm going to put some Hellmann's mayonnaise on here. This is actually a pretty good chicken. I wish you guys could smell this. This is really good. And have you noticed my knife skills that Meg has taught me? She's really going to love this. This is great. And then we picked up some of this bread at the Bakery Hill at the Culinary Institute. I'm going to get a bigger piece because I deserve it. And then voila, there you are, a healthy snack that you can get from Biggs.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Harris, and I'm buying chicken here at the Hyde Park Biggs poultry counter today. You know, there's nothing more versatile than some cooked chicken. As we show you today, there's so many things you can do with them. I love to buy these big, fat, golden plump chickens, and you know, there's a lot of difference in different types of chicken, so you have to pay attention and get the chicken that says all natural, no added hormones or preservatives. Why is that? Well, they're not only better for you, but they taste better. I love to cook chicken on Sunday afternoon and have it all week. So pick up 2 of these lovely golden plump chickens. Doesn't take any longer to roast 2 in the oven than 1. Have 1 for Sunday night supper and save the other one to make some of the great recipes we're showing you today on The Dish.
Welcome back to The Dish. We're going to continue with our show for healthy eating with families. You can see I have lots of color here. It's very important to use a lot of color in your cooking. Use a lot of different variety and texture, and this is a lot of chopping. But the celery, children under 10, 6 to 10, give them a kitchen, not a sharp knife, but an eating utensil knife. They can help you with that celery, or they can always wash your vegetables for you. So we're going to get started with this. We have our lentils, which it's kind of nice because you can purchase these at Biggs in the bulk section, so you can get just what you need for this recipe. I have doubled the recipe today, which is available at WKRC.com. If you'd like to download the recipe and follow along with me, it might help you a little bit. So we're going to have the lentils, and we're going to go ahead and put them into a saucepan and just cover them with water. You're going to bring them to a boil. Put the lid on and let them sit for about 20 minutes. And what's going to happen is that they're going to soak in all that water and get nice and plump. Now, our bulgur, which is here, which is also too can be bought in the bulk section, we have it, and then we're just going to cover it with some boiling water. So in your tea kettle or in a saucepan, go ahead and just cover it. And it again needs to sit and soak up all this water for about 15 to 20 minutes. What I've done is I've gone ahead and done that for you so I can go ahead and show you the salad. And here's what they look like. They do take on a lot of water. So we're going to slowly add these to our mixing bowl. what's great about this salad is if you have somebody in your family that doesn't like onions, omit the onions. It's okay. It's the recipe will work. You can add things. One of the best things to do is take the children with you to the grocery store. And I say that, I don't know. Sometimes we have hard times at the grocery store, but let them go and go with you and let them help pick out the items. So we're going to add the tomatoes, just a chopped tomato, red pepper, if you like orange, yellow, or green, choose that. Celery, chopped. And then I have some minced mint and oregano. The most important thing is the parsley. You need a good amount of parsley. This is about a cup for the recipe. And then we're left with some olives, some walnuts, and some feta. And what I would suggest with these is if you're going to make the salad a day ahead, add those in right before service. So we're just going to add a little bit of crushed garlic. So just peel it, mash it, just give it a little chop. This again too, I probably would add the day that you're going to eat it because it will become too powerful if it sits around for 24 hours. And then some salt and pepper. And then we're going to make actually a vinaigrette in the dish. So we're going to add extra virgin olive oil and some acid with the lemon. So just cut the lemon, squeeze it in. This is something that the kids can do as well. So let's just give it a toss. All right. So we're going to toss this up, refrigerate it, take a little break. While we're on break, I'm going to check the temperature of the chicken. And remember, when to go to 170 degrees, you can use an instant read thermometer or a meat thermometer in the chicken.
Hi, I'm Chris Zabrowski. I'm here at our Biggs Hyde Park location in the wine aisle. And today we were talking about roasted chicken. The versatility of being able to eat it tonight, make a sandwich tomorrow, lends itself to something that you got to have a little bit more fun with. And one of the new products that we have in the store today is a brand called Cycles Gladiator. The Chardonnay on this wine is got a really nice fresh flavor to it, a little bit of acidity, really complement the texture of the chicken. I'd like for you to give it a try.
Welcome back to the dish. During the break, I've been joined with Betsy Lasorella, one of the pastry instructors here at the Midwest Culinary Institute, a mom, mother of two, Jacob and Sydney. So she's busy because they're involved in sports, and she is also a working mother, and her husband works as well too, so it's very similar. Yes. Betsy is a good friend. We go to the same gym together. We always laugh about that.
Me. I'm starting to go again.
So what I had asked Betsy, I said we were going to do a show about busy moms, busy families, but everything needs to be in moderation. So you really, you're going to have dessert. Those kids that are never allowed to have any desserts, they're the ones that come over for play dates, and they're in all your cabinets going, can I have that? Can I have that?
Right.
So you can go with the dessert, but in moderation, and try and find a little healthy dessert. So you have one with apples.
So we're getting our fruit into our dessert, so that's a little bit more nutritious. And with fall coming up, or we're in the midst of fall.
Yeah, we're in the midst of fall. And then apple season too. Actually,
apple season. So we decided to do an apple turnover. This way you can have it as a dessert. You can throw it with ice cream or vanilla yogurt or something to make it low fat. And you can also keep it the leftovers, and you can stick it in the kids' lunch box, or they can have it for a snack when they come home from school.
So did all the kids at school fight over your children's desserts in the lunch boxes?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, stands to reason. Okay, so you want me to go ahead and you're going to help me with this?
I'm going to chop the apples, and Meg is going to start. We have a 2-stage cooking method. What we're going to do is we're going to heat some water, some butter, and we're going to heat that up to melt our butter. And then we're going to mix our cornstarch with our sugar, a half a cup of sugar.
Okay.
And it's 3.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. We're going to mix those together. By mixing them together, we're going to ensure that we don't get lumps.
Okay.
So Meg's going to put this together, and she's going to heat that up and cook it till it's really thick. I'm going to finish these apples real quick.
Okay.
I just quarter them and Then I'm going to slice them small because we're going to put these in some small turnovers. You can have dessert, but it doesn't have to be a large dessert. So we're going to cut our apple rather small so it won't pop out of our turnover. Now the smaller you cut your apples, the softer your apples will be.
And then you want to use a firm apple?
A firm tart apple like a Granny Smith would be great.
Just so that it holds up in the cooking.
Right, you don't want it to turn to mush, so your softer apples like Fiji and Gala wouldn't necessarily be as good, even though those are my favorite to eat as a fresh apple.
So Betsy teaches all kinds of different classes here at the Midwest Culinary Institute. She also teaches community classes.
Right.
They're sponsored by Biggs. And do you have one coming up anytime soon?
I have, I'm not sure.
I mean, what is the class on?
I have a chocolate class for the kids October 21st.
Okay, yeah.
And then I have a pie class in November. And then I have another Christmas dessert class in December.
You can look at the schedule for all the classes if you call 569-1643. And that has registration information as well. All right, this is, the butter's melted, so I go ahead and whisk in.
Go ahead and whisk in that.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to be over here combining our spices. I have our cinnamon, our nutmeg, and just a dash of cloves. Cloves is a very strong spice, so you don't need very much of it to be able to taste it. So we're going to mix that together, and by doing that, we have our tablespoon of lemon juice on here already to keep our apples from turning brown. We're going to toss our sugar and our spices with our apples to coat them nicely, and as soon as Meg's part is nice and thick, we'll put these in there and cook them together.
Okay, this is coming together. So you have to bring it back to the boil, right?
You have to bring it to a boil so it's nice and thick.
All right.
And otherwise you have a runny.
You have a runny turnover?
A runny turnover.
So, and then we're going to use puff pastry for the turnovers as
yes,
well?
I'm going to go ahead and get that ready.
Okay. And then a question that I always have from students is, where can you buy this? And actually, Biggs carries it, and it's in the frozen food section.
Just make sure you thaw it well before you pull it out. And I'm going to keep parchment underneath it, and that's going to help us to be able to roll it. Puff pastry it's kind of like your pie crust, except for it's got many layers and butter in between there.
All right.
And we're just going to set nice and thin.
Yeah.
Okay,
now, do you need to let it cool down before you add it to the apples?
No, it needs to be thicker than that.
Thicker than that. All right.
Yeah. So hers it's still a little runny.
Okay. I can do that.
It needs to be almost like Play-Doh.
All right.
All right. We're just going to thin out our puff pastry a little bit with a rolling pin by rolling it between the parchment here, just to get it a little bit thinner.
Okay. Thick enough?
Yes.
All right.
Beautiful. All right. We're going to keep it on the stove.
All right. So
Take
heat on?
Whisk out. Heat on.
Okay.
We're going to throw our apples in there.
All right. And then just coat that with the apples.
And then we're just going to toss it together until our apples are nice and warm. Get them cooking just a little bit.
All right. This is easy.
Very easy. And it is probably the best apple pie recipe I've found. A lady at church gave it to me, Mrs. Edwards.
So this is one of those, if you pack it in a school lunch, you need to pack two.
Yeah.
One for your child to eat and one for your child to give away.
Fend off the children that are watching.
Yeah.
You can just cut your puff pastry into 6.
And then you want this warm on the pastry, or does this need to cool?
We can put it warm, it'll be okay.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we are going to get our edges ready, because we're going to be crossing these over, and we need some glue. And so all I have in here is a little bit of egg, a little bit of water, scrambled together, and that's going to be my glue. And as soon as our apples are ready, we'll put a small,
And I think they're
very
ready.
small amount. It won't look like much, but
Okay.
all right, we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So just fill them in, fold them over. And then
So we're just going to put a small amount of apples in here. If you have too much, your apples are going to pop out. So a small amount of apples, and fold it over so we have a nice diamond, and then you're going to press it, and you want to make sure you get that seal very well done. And then you'll score it so that the gases can come out. You can brush it with egg wash again, not too much. You don't want to have scrambled eggs sitting on top of your popover, your turnover. a little bit much on there. And then we'll sprinkle it with sugar.
And
you can add some cinnamon to it. That's going to add a nice color, a little bit of crunch. And we'll put it on our sheet pan, bake it in the oven at about 375 till they're nice golden brown.
Okay, sounds great. Well, we're going to put these in the oven and we'll be back in just a second. All right. Welcome back to the dish. Chicken's out of the oven, pastry's out of the oven. We're here with Chef Betsy Lasorella from the Midwest Culinary Institute, and we just wanted to show you some different variations on the recipes today. The herb chicken's out, cut it in half, put it over the salad with some vegetables, made a nice little wrap, take for lunch the next day. And then what I have here is I have done a layer of tomato, then the salad, chicken, and then I'm just gonna put some little, this is called a chiffonade of greens. So what this might work well for would be a maybe a little luncheon on a Saturday or something.
Be very beautiful.
Right. So just a little ring mold. You can actually go to the hardware store and get a piece of PVC pipe. Costs what, 20 cents, and to use for the same thing.
Yep.
And then we're just going to take
just
the
can't
lettuce.
cook in those.
No, that's
you can
right.
use it as a mold, but you're not cooking them.
Right. So a little bit of greens, and then what this is I just took some balsamic vinegar and reduced it by half on the stove, just to give a little sprinkling on the plate.
A little extra flavor too.
Right.
It's really good.
And when you do this and you have people in your home, they're going to go, wow, you're so smart. So nice little dishes.
Little wow.
And an extra little wow. All the recipes from today are available at WKRC.com. Click on the dish or culinary.cincinnati-state.edu. Thank you for coming, Betsy.
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
having me.
it.
It's a lot of fun.
I don't want to forget the wine. We also have wine, which is chosen today by Biggs, and available at Biggs too. Great. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
The Dish is recorded at the Midwest Culinary Institute at Cincinnati State. Products featured on the dish are available at Biggs. Biggs, true minimum price. Visit WKRC.com for more dish features.